You're listening to the Trade Streaming Podcast, tracking technology and trends in the business of finance.
Welcome to the Tearsheet Podcast. I'm Zach Miller. As Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and initial coin offerings push to new heights, top financial institutions and banks are rushing to figure out just what their future role will be around the blockchain. Join us, Tearsheet, this September to explore these advances in distributed ledger technology and to hear firsthand from institutions pushing on the edge of finance. To see the agenda, speakers, and to get more information about purchasing a ticket or sponsoring the event, click on the Events tab on our website, tearsheet.co. Stash Invest is a quickly growing popular consumer app helping individuals get serious about saving and investing again. But working directly with consumers, impacting their lives through investing, is a new transition for the firm's co-founder and CEO, Brandon Krieg. Brandon began his financial career in algorithmic trading, aiming to disrupt the way institutions traded equities. And when you hear him talk about Stash's customers, his excitement is palpable. Brandon discusses his approach to product development and how his team determines which products and functionality to launch. On Stash Invest's path to over 1 million accounts, Brandon has had to scale everything, especially customer service. We talk about that and why 86% of his customers are first-time investors. You can get this episode of the podcast as well as 160 previous episodes in our archive on our website, tearsheet.co. If you get value out of these episodes, please take a minute to rate us on Apple Podcasts. Doing so helps other people find us. We're also available on SoundCloud. And if you're not signed up for our newsletter, subscribe now. 10,000 industry professionals read our Tearsheet newsletter every week to explore the impact technology is having on the financial services industry. Here's my conversation with Stash Invest, Brandon Krieg.
My name is Brandon Krieg, and I'm a co-founder and the CEO of Stash Invest, and we're a New York City-based financial services company. We are on a mission to empower a new generation of investors and to give everybody access to financial opportunity, both through investing on the Stash Invest app and through financial education.
So before we get into the app itself, I want to talk a little bit about your background. I don't want to spook you, but obviously I saw that you worked at Knight Capital and Macquarie. Like, what was the transition like going from sort of, older school financial incumbents to not only to sort of like the startup world, but to the B2C world as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I started my career actually in 1998 in algorithmic trading or electronic trading when it really didn't exist as a business. And it was a really interesting time back then because we were trying to disrupt the way that the institutional world traded equities. And over the years, and we built, the company was called EdgeTrade. We built EdgeTrade up into something that we loved, and it grew a lot. And we actually sold the company to Knight Capital. And for me, that was the first transition I went through from going from a tiny little startup, but I think when we sold, we were like 60 people, to a company like Knight that had 1,500 people. And it showed me the value of culture. That was the first thing I learned. But then working in the larger financial companies, what I realized is that the bigger companies, they do crave and value innovation, but it's much harder for them to move fast. And so, especially like at the bigger bank that I worked at, like they were a great company to work for, but there were 15,000 people there. And my whole life had always been catering to businesses or institutional investors. The transition to consumers, for me, I love it. It's my favorite thing I've done yet in my career because we're able to directly impact the lives of our customers. And our customers have a problem that we're able to solve and directly solve it. And by doing it in the form of a startup where we're nimble, we can move much faster and directly, talk and engage with our customers. And so for that, like the value of a B2C business when you're innovating it's just awesome.
Has there been a challenge for you in making that transition, say like in customer service, like different expectations or meeting expectations at the consumer level versus maybe what you were used to in dealing with more institutional?
Oh yes, a lot. I mean, we started building Stash, Eddie and I. We both left Macquarie in the beginning of 2015. And we launched Stash in the end of October of 15. We felt really good about the product that we were shipping to the market because we spent a lot of time talking to customers. We weren't like doing this in a vacuum and building something that nobody wanted. However, when we launched it, we didn't understand or kind of we weren't able to form the view of how many customers we'd actually sign up. And I look back now to the last it's been less than 2 years, and we're coming on 1 million accounts now.
Amazing.
So to your question, yeah, I mean, it's just we had to scale much faster than we thought we would scale, but also our primary goal here is to keep our customers happy. Our customers are our heroes. We see ourselves just as a guide. So we had to scale